this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what you see and the controls you have in the teacher dashboard of Activity Builder in Desmos. So in my previous videos, I talked a little bit about adding card sorts and using this custom activity builder. So I'm going to go back to that again. So I've logged into teacher.desmos.com. I'm going to go over here to custom. And these are all the custom activities I've made. And I've made an example card sort in my last video, so if you want to see how I did that, you can watch that video. But I'm going to go into this previous activity that I made for students about telling time, because I have some student work that I can use to show. So I click on it, you can see I've created 2 class codes. You can create as many class codes as you want. Each one would then have its own kind of individual dashboard. So if I want to, like let's say you are a middle school teacher and you teach several periods of math a day, you might want to make a separate code for each period. Or this year's second graders or first graders, I want a code, and then next year's first graders, I would create a new code for them. Or you could share this activity among teachers. So my class would get a class code, the teacher across the hall that also teaches first grade could make a different class code. So that's why you might want different class codes. So anyway, I'm going to go into this dashboard because this is the one that we assign to actual students. So I'm going to view that dashboard. And I want to show you a couple of the controls. Again, this would be the code that the kids would type in. So this is what I see as a teacher. And these are the slides up here that the students are working on. And then down here I see who has gotten to that slide. This one is a card sort, so I can see an X if there's a mistake according to the answer key, and a check if it is matched correctly, so I can quickly look for that. Also, as a teacher, I can click anonymize, and that will change everybody's name to something that's not their name. It's helpful if you plan to show something up to the whole class and you don't want everybody noticing their own name over here. Also, for anything that you might want to show to students and you don't want them to necessarily see that it's their name, it's just helpful to do that. As a teacher, if I want to be able to check in, like who is this person that got this one wrong, obviously I'm going to want to be able to see their correct name. So you can just click it to get it back, and then, so that's a nice feature. Another thing you can do is, let's say I want the students to be working on this activity, but I don't want them to go through it all in 2 seconds, right? They might just rush through the whole thing. I want them just to see this one. Even though the activity has 6 slides, I only want them to see slide 1. You can do pacing. And so you select the one that you want them to start on. And let's say I just want them to be on slide 1. I can say restrict to slide 1. And right now, students are only going to be able to see that, even though the activity has 6 slides. Okay. You can move it. So now let's say, okay, everybody's done with that one. I want everybody to restrict it to just slide 2. I can add more to it. So right now, students could see slides 2 through 4. And so it's just a nice way to kind of have a little bit of control over what the students are seeing. Even if the activity is longer, you might not want them to be overwhelmed by seeing all of those. The other thing you can do as a teacher in the controls is you can pause. And if you click pause, it pauses the whole class right where they are, and they can't see what the slide is that they were working on. Be prepared for a lot of students to go, because especially, these activities tend to be pretty engaging, and as soon as you hit pause, it really forces them to, kind of pay attention because they can't see what's on their screen anymore. But it is nice to be able to get everyone's attention. If you're seeing a common error or something that you need to address with the class, being able to pause it is helpful so that everybody is paying attention. So these are some of the controls that you have as a teacher while the students are working. And then, like I said, you can see student work down here. So these little dots, okay, so let me talk about what these dots are right here. So if I click on this, it lets me know that Jacob has gotten through all of the slides, and then if I click on it, I can see Jacob's work on a particular slide. So it's kind of nice to be able to sort of like click through and check in with students and see how they're doing on these. Now, these are activities that don't have a answer key because they were supposed to draw the hands on the clock. So that's why it just shows a dot to let me know if they're on that, if they had done something on that slide. Whereas the card store did have a right or wrong answer, so that's why I'm able to see an X or a check because it's checking it for me against the answer key. So those are some of the teacher controls and features that you have on the teacher dashboard. I hope this video was helpful for using Desmos in your elementary classroom. Let me know how you're using it or if you have suggestions for videos that you would like to see.